Hi, garden rebels. Hey, I want to tackle today a common misconception about gardening in January. It has to do with weathering, it has to do with waiting, it has to do with wanting. All those details coming up. Well, that was sort of cryptic. Getting right into it, weathering can mean two different things. What is going on outside in the weather, right? What's the weather for today or this week or this month? And it's the other weather, which is the big question, whether I can plant now. And to answer that straight off, in the Pacific Northwest, generally, almost always, the answer is yes. It is a-okay to plant in the cold of the cold and the hot of the hot. So it really doesn't matter. We'll compensate a little bit while we plant for that. The big question, of course, is whether you can handle the weather. And that is about what you are wearing. And I say the weather generally is the same every day, only changes about what you wear. This brings me to the next big question, is about waiting. Should we wait to plant? Surely we should wait for the weather to warm up before planting. It seems like that would be right? So to answer directly whether you should wait to plant, there really isn't any reason why you'd want to wait. If you're hoping to plant summer color, yes, certainly wait. Those plants are just tiny babies. But what's most exciting is that in January, in winter, there is a whole array, a whole palette of plants that are ready to plant, that make a great garden season, longer than you think even. And this follows easily to wanting to plant. If you have some hanging baskets or containers that might look a little bit weathered, that you feel could use a little tender loving care or maybe even a replanting, I say if you're wanting, it's a perfect time to take that particular project and plant away. Now I want to take an honest appraisal of these plants in this basket. I think what would be the best use is taking this heuchera and planting it in the landscape. I could bury it deep like last video and regrow it, but I think I want to start with something new. We'll use this in the landscape. As far as this Acorus Ogon, very dependable grass, but I can see it's been weathered a bit. It needs to be sheared down to just a stub. I might use a few sprigs of this in the new basket, but what I really like is this Ajuga. I think this looks pristine, and we're going to cut this out and use that as the beginning of the new basket. all this just before the rain starts. Guys, that's the tips and tricks for this week. Always live your passion. It's fun to be outside.